Forget tainted candy, the scariest thing on Halloween is parked in your driveway. Has argued, engineers who design streets prioritize getting cars as quickly from point A to point B over everything else. One recent example, a traffic safety committee in Utah could not find any way to make the 5-lane road crossing to a school safer for students aside from just removing the crosswalk altogether. But there is a lot that can be done to make streets safer, for future Halloweens and every other day of the year. In the short term, cities and towns can build on open streets programs implemented after the COVID-19 pandemic began, which involve closing certain streets to car traffic to allow for more public space. Notably, New York City announced a trick or streets plan that would see 100 car-free zones in effect from 4 to 8 p.m. on Halloween this year. And the Big Apple isn't alone, as Henry Grabar reported for Slate. Less dense and more car-dependent cities like St. Petersburg, Florida and Seattle will also either close off the city center for Halloween or actually allow residents to apply for permits that can close off their neighborhoods to car traffic. In the long run, Gordon believes that places around the U.S. should be able to pass what is known as the popsicle test, where a kid should be able to safely walk to a store, buy a popsicle, and return home before it melts. In essence, every city should be designed to be friendly and traversable to the most vulnerable in our communities. If you start thinking along those lines, then I think you start thinking along the lines of what infrastructure is needed to make that possible, where I would feel comfortable letting my kid do that, Gordon said. Halloween is like a giant version of the popsicle test because it's not just your kid, it's every kid in the neighborhood. Designing safer streets for children goes beyond safety. It would make for a better Halloween. Having sidewalks and good lighting is a good preventive measure, not just for injury prevention, but also just general health, Lee told me, because that encourages everybody in the neighborhood to walk, exercise, and get outside, which is better for everybody's health as well. And if their safety isn't enough motivation, designing dense, walkable cities could even lead to bigger candy hauls for kids. When you build a city that's safer, so that kids can walk around by themselves and not be worried about getting hit by a car, or the parents being worried about them being hit by a car, it's just better, Gordon said. It's awesome. They're independent. It's fun. And on Halloween, they get a lot of candy.